Hello, welcome. I'm Stephanie. Welcome to our 10-minute mindfulness practice. Something that hopefully we can use these tools on our mat that we can take off with us no matter what we're doing. Today's session, I'm going to do some subtle movements as a possibility for you to explore before we settle in a little bit more. But if you want to just find yourself in a comfortable spot and, do the movement in your head, your awareness just with what's going on, that's what it's all about. So wherever you're at, just a big breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top, and then a ha, like an HA sound out your mouth. And try that 2 more times. A big breath in, filling up, and ha. One last time. So important just to breathe in, breathe out, but letting out air out of your mouth, getting that kind of that carbon dioxide out, stale air, stale stress, and depending on where you are with COVID, we're not wanting to breathe hard out our mouth because everybody will freak out. You cough and somebody's going to cross the street, so they're not near you. So taking advantage of what we can do when we can. If you are in a seated posture, just kind of what we call Sukhasana, easy seat, one leg in front of the other, and we'll switch it up. Again, just soften your gaze, close your eyes, and see if you can just tap into what you feel that's touching the earth, what's lifting from it. Let your mind and your breath dance upon you head to toe, linearly or randomly. And check in. How are you feeling? Where do you feel grounded and settled? Where do you feel like you've got some tension, some tightness? And just noticing. And as much as you can for a practice, and again, what you can take with you, try to have your tongue free. My tongue often gets stuck in between my teeth, and in Ayurveda, holistic health, they say that the tongue is connected to the brain, and I often find that when I'm kind of clenching my teeth, biting my tongue, that I am stuck in my head. So just noticing where we can free things up. And this next breath that comes in through your nose, you might just encourage your breath to travel up through your sinuses, up to the crown of your head, up towards the sky, and just feeling its lightness, its possibilities, the expansion. And when you exhale, all those possibilities start to fall and reside within you. And then let's do a little bit of movement with our shoulders. Your inhale, you sit up taller, your shoulders come up, and then your exhale, they'll slowly release down. And not forcing, right? Just encouraging more from the inside versus the outside. So if you can keep eyes softly closed, or just more of awareness to your body versus your brain, your breath connecting you to all. Once you have rolled your shoulders a couple times, just do a little bit of a wiggle, fingers, wrists, shoulders. And then you're going to circle your arms up if it's available for you on an inhale. Hands come past towards each other, towards your heart, and then twist towards the right. Press your left hand on your right thigh, right hand behind you, shoulder draws down. Couple slow belly breaths. What do you notice in the right shoulder versus the left, and how can you find a little bit of balance? It might be to loosen your grip or just to relax the shoulder. And then see if you can bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Press your right fingertips away. And then soften the fingertips, bring your gaze back to neutral, and then turn your gaze to the left and possibly down, stretching through the back of your neck. Breathing in slow, pause. Breathing out slow, pause. Always come back to neutral, always come back to the pause. That's where we find clarity. So your head will come back to center, taking a peek in the opposite direction. Bring your chin towards your shoulder, keeping the shoulders staying down. Bring your chin back to neutral and back to center as you invite an ear down. So your ear's not touching your shoulder and your shoulder's not rising to meet the ear. It's just that general direction of it pressing away. And then see if you can encourage some breath into the belly, the ribs, into the side neck. And when you bring your chin back to neutral with your heart, bring your heart back to neutral with your belly. And then pause for a minute. Rest your palms on your thighs if you're seated. Tip a thumb and index finger, the Om Mudra, Shin Mudra. It's a really great meditative connection. And then start to walk your hands forward. Your pelvis goes forward. Your heart goes forward. You might stay onto hands with straight elbows. You might come onto your forearms. And then soften. A little bit more of a curving inward. A forward fold are so great for reflection. And then bring your awareness to your low back. See if you can breathe into your back. Bring your awareness into the back of your heart and see if you can shift some breath and energy there. And don't worry if you can't. It's just opening ourselves up. We can guide our awareness and our energy places. We just have to practice it. And then trying to bring your awareness to your upper back, back to your shoulders, back to your neck to help it soften and release. And then just walk your upper body, your forearms, arms, palms towards the right. So you're folding more over your right thigh. Try to keep both sit bones down. And now you're encouraging your awareness more into the left ribs, left hip, left lung. And then start to walk your hands back to center and enjoying each step. So one hand and the other. You could even crisscross your arms to get over to the left side or your opposite. Soften your elbows, your forehead, your breath. Now travels a little bit more to the right rib, right hip, right lungs. And use the power of your exhales, that letting go, whether it's out through your nose, out through your mouth. You can visualize that apan vayu, that downward energy of breath. And then you'll slowly walk your hands back to center, always trying to come back to neutral, literally, figuratively, before you start to walk your hands back towards you if you folded forward. You may even put your hands on your ankles, your calves, your thighs, just really tapping into that grounding. Smile, yawn, swallow, pause. And then check back in. Power of your breath, of your thoughts, your intention. How are you? What do you notice now from before, similarities, differences? And then if you are either seated and have one leg in front or on top, or you're laying down and you're doing something, sometimes I'll do a practice like this where we're on our back, like a reclined tree. See if you can find the opposite, if it's a two-sided, or if you could just find something a little bit different, legs wider, legs closer, knees bent, knees straight. And then again, adjust so that you can feel pretty grounded, rooted with your sit bones if you're seated. Should feel that grounding energy down, and then really from your tailbone all the way up your spine to the crown of your head. That is a beautiful energy channel to find grounding and lightness. Feel the breath as it travels in, as it travels up, it also travels down. And then whether through just visualization or if you want through touch, to breathe outward, laterally outward towards your ribs like we did when we were folding forward to the side. Breathing up a little higher to the front and back of your heart, to your throat, as well as down towards your belly. And then once again, feeling the roots circling, arms up if they're free, even on your back, a little good a day stretch can't go wrong. If you can, palms are coming together past your mind, your words, meeting at your heart. We're twisting to the left or whatever your opposite direction is. And then press fingertips onto a leg, a thigh, the floor behind you. And use what you're touching to sit up taller. Not worrying about how much you're twisting and turning, but feeling just those subtleties. The connection of the earth, the ability to ground and to open at the same time. And then if you'd like to bring an ear to shoulder, you can. Coming back to neutral, chin to shoulder. And then up and over the other direction. If you did turn your head, a cheek and an ear, a chin. But just noticing where you're at, taking time to enjoy the journey, not judging on what you feel or resisting it, but really being open to it. If you did twist, you'll come back to center and slowly come forward. Again, honor you, whether you want to be on hands or forearms or prop yourself up. And as we only have a half a dozen or so breaths here, I want you to think about where you're at and allowing yourself to move organically, breathing into your whole self, front and back, right and left, top and bottom. Possibly working your way up and over towards the left side and pausing for a breath or two. Breathing into the opposite hip, ribs, and lung. Softening through the shoulders. Taking that time for reflection. If you did move to one direction, come back. Just like if you moved to a thought, come back. See if you can expand to another side, another thought. Perhaps something else you can be grateful for. And then if you did move to the side, if you've moved far away from this body, this breath, this moment, start to come back. If you walked forward, walk back. Draw your shoulders down, swallow. Free up your voice, your truth, your song. Again, your hands can rest in your lap. You could come back to that Shin Mudra. But allow yourself to come back to the present. To feel a little bit of softness in your face as you've given yourself time just to have some gentle movement, little bits of exploration in the mind and the body. And then circle your arms up one last time. As you feel your palms come together, feel how they naturally know what to do. To feel that balance. And as you bring your hands to your heart, to feel the lift of your heart. And whether you're laying on your back or sitting down, just see if you can gently bow your head to your heart and say something kind to yourself. To give grace for this chance to take a moment to pause, to reflect. And to take that awareness to help guide you as you continue with your day. Namaste. And thanks so much for taking time out. It might have been an 11-minute mindfulness break, but whatever you can do is great. So continue to take care of you and to try out the different things that we have at Y Detroit with YouTube. But remember, there's also Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at YMCA Detroit. So till next time, take care of you. Bye.